Cross the river with a barge man, just in his rusty horse, and his eyes are heroes unspoken. Welcome to Being Heard. I'm Thorald. This is Isaac. We are the brothers Koren, and excited to be with you. We're in July.
Yeah. We're talking about liberation of the voice.
And freedom, you know? What does it mean to be free to your voice? I think like we've been talking a lot about how freedom is not something to work up to, it's something to come back to.
Yeah, we don't want to be free from our voice. We want to be free for it, for all that it has for us, the power of it, the vulnerability of it. We also want to be free to use it, to wield it, to yield it, to share it.
Yeah.
To sink into it.
Free from, but it can be such a trap. You know, of course we want to be free from things we don't wish to be experiencing, going through, feeling even. So often it's so counterintuitive though, that what we've been avoiding feeling and wanting to be free from actually is incredible ingredients for the voice to free yourself back to.
Yeah.
And in our work, you know, if you feel something that you've been avoiding feeling for long enough, it kind of always shifts into something new, right? So what we've been avoiding, if we find the courage and capacity to let our voice be a vehicle to feel it, what we find is that it never stays the same, right? Like that sort of impending doom or feeling like, well, if I let myself feel that sadness through my voice, it might last forever. We find it lasts nowhere near as long as forever, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and it can shift in an instant when you're least expecting it. And, you know, people show up wanting to be free from their small voices, those negative thoughts they have about their own voice, then the visceral negative reaction of shock, horror, you know, terror, disgust, you know, and those small voices are not who they are. They're just really just that. They're these smaller parts, these younger parts, these traumatized parts of us that end up running the show, grabbing the microphone, being the loudest one in the choir on the inside. And, you know, can we ever be free from these small voices? I think they change over time. They become integrated, you know. But
well, before we go on though, what's a small voice for anyone that's like listening that hasn't done any of our work at all? What's the definition of a small voice to you?
Well, our definition is any negative thought, impulse, any negative alarm that goes off automatically. It's really automatic. And so automatic that we think it truly is ourselves judging ourselves, or, you know, we
so it
think
comes
it's
off through
thought.
like a thought or a feeling in the body or the mind.
It could be a thought that starts it. It could just be a visceral, physical response to having to speak up, sing out, be bigger than we normally are, to do something new, to, you know, make a presentation, to ask for a raise, to, you know, ask someone out, to, you know, break up with someone. You know, this is where our voice really comes to play. And that's when the small voices come out screaming.
So to us, really, the small voices really defines this distinction between our true voice, which is our big voice, doesn't necessarily mean loud.
And the protection mechanism.
The protection mechanisms are the small
we are
voices,
looking for freedom with.
So the small voices are small and pesky and often rubby and loud and triggering. And they trigger off in your nervous system, your survival system, right when you go to express yourself through the voice, right when the stakes are high, right when you're about to share something that's important to you, or take the stage, or present something in your workplace.
Yeah, a moment of expansion. They come in and try and protect, you know, your nervous system, the fight, flight, freeze part of you that wants to protect you from that embarrassing thing happening again. Or worse.
Yeah, it's so interesting we're talking about this, because we often in life feel like freedom is to be free from those small voices and to be feeling like connected and powerful and effortless and graceful. And then we step forward and we share freely and everyone's like, yay. And that's this sort of ideal of freedom to be seen, heard, or reflected back, freedom to feel ready for the moment, whatever it is. But that's not really our definition as a voice principle. It's freedom is being available and accessible to yourself, and even available to being able to and willing to understand that you may be uncomfortable at the same time as you go to share your voice.
So the distinction might be, instead of free from their small voices, free to be with.
Freedom with,
Free with.
Yeah,
Particularly being with.
We're free for life when we're not too busy trying to hide and avoid the parts that have felt too uncomfortable.
Yeah, it takes an immense amount of effort.
Yeah,
to protect, to allow those small voices to run the show. You know, often it's freedom is less effort than we think. And it's really just the foregoing some of those expectations and attachments and believing what those small voices are saying, letting that belief go and doing it anyway.
Well, we often talk, absolutely. And we often talk about these small voices as universal. Everyone's got them. Most of us have a whole choir, meaning many, that fire off in our system when we're going to be in our full expression, when we're going to step up and emerge and step into our potential with others watching us, especially even. We'll talk about the top 5 small voices that we've found working with thousands of people across different countries, of course, but in no particular order, really. Enoughness. I'm not enough.
Not
it's not
enough
good
of
enough.
Anything.
Not young enough. Not credited enough.
My voice is not beautiful enough, high enough, low enough. Enough. Yeah. And this is really a common one. This one hit me because I found my voice seemed like by accident. I never set out to be a singer or have a voice, but it was invited on the spot, and then it showed up. And I found my voice, and I always kind of questioned it or compared it as I was learning to use it. And that was a small voice that wanted me to stop.
What did it say? Like, if you go back to that,
you're not good enough.
Because you often tell the story about even all the years later, all the shows you've done, we ended up on the Pink stage.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really important, because a lot of people think that the grass is greener for someone who's got a lot of experience. Like, oh, I'm terrified because I'm not experienced enough. That's a good one. Yeah. And then, so they look towards someone like you even, who had a lot of success on different stages in your life, open for Pink, open for Coldplay. And obviously we toured the world with Pink. We played 40 arenas opening for her. And you would just assume that by that point, you were like, let's go, right? But actually,
well, what
did you feel like?
It was exactly like let's go. And that was me. And
that
then
was the you.
I had the small part in me that was like, oh no, all these people, these 20,000 people are here for Pink, and I'm not enough to hold that.
Well, that small voice would catch you, maybe not every time, but sometimes it did, right? And
every time.
Remember there was that kind of sheathy curtain that used to be up?
See through the curtain as everyone's coming in. You can smell the perfume, hear the talking, hear the music in the background, and the anticipation. You could kind of tell that there was like anticipation, which kind of reads as like expectation. Like most people go, oh, we got to sit through an opener.
And no one announced like the opening act.
No, we just ran out on stage. It was just
the lights would go down and people would cheer and be like, oh, that's right, there's an opener. It's not Pink yet, right? Like that was actually like the feeling you'd feel in the room, like, I mean, some people knew there was going to be an opener because they go to shows, but some people who don't go to shows all the time did, like, you felt them go,
and so the not good enough voice is a comparative voice, and so compared to Pink, it was a hard act to come as the prequel, and really it took all of my attention and awareness to include that huge audience, in my awareness, in my heart, in my, find love for them and kind of run out onto the stage coming home to them, and that was really the only medicine I could do. But let's not linger. It's coming home.
But you did, though, include the I'm not enough, I might not be enough voice. You held it.
Under my wing.
You had it under your wing and you stepped out.
Yeah, it never got in my way.
Did it anyway.
It just presented itself.
Right.
And could have gotten in the way.
So you were not free from that small voice. You were free for
being
having that small voice and also free to go out.
I was free
anyway.
to have that small voice.
I mean, that's huge.
With me.
That's huge. All right, some other small voices. It's not safe. I'm unsafe. It's got to be safe. It's got to be safe, or else I'd rather not share my voice, my expression. And a lot of people that have been through trauma, a lot of people that have been through safety, literally, their nervous systems have filed in their body and mind, trigger alarm warnings to remind them, check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? Like, maybe there was times in your life you went to share yourself and it brought you, unwanted attention or not what you were looking for, not the reception you were looking for. And so safety is a real small voice in many, many people's lives.
Yeah.
Another one, I'm unworthy, or my voice doesn't matter as much. Mm-hmm. People are already doing that.
My voice doesn't have a value. It's not valuable.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It's not socially valued.
Yeah. Another one is I'm too much. Or the voice that goes off inside you that says, don't be too much, right? This is a cultural voice from Australia, found.
You'll end up being excluded.
Well, the tall poppy syndrome is a real thing. I think it's changing in Australia a little bit, but growing up, you literally would be like, don't be a tryhard. Like that was told to you at every level.
You risk being uninvited to the party.
Yeah. Don't stick out.
That becomes a contraction over time, if not immediately. Yeah.
Of course, in other countries, though, I think the I'm too much small voice is born when people went in different times earlier in their life to share their voice, and it caused not the response. Maybe they made people jealous, their mother, their father, their friends. Maybe it got them further away from acceptance than acceptance. So maybe someone who has that voice dimmed down and has that warning built into them, that small voice warning them, be careful to be your full self, And
then the last small voice that really shows up a lot is it's got to be perfect.
Yeah, especially now, like presentation ready, hit the marks, don't improvise, don't make a mess in front of everyone. Make sure that you're rehearsed and well planned.
Make sure the auto tune's turned on.
Yeah, make sure that you double check everything that you share and edit thrice. And yet, this perfectionistic culture that has brought that small voice a lot of attention, really, like I see the opposite. We're thirsty for raw. We're thirsty for unwatched, unrehearsed moments with each other and in content, of course. So
yeah, I mean, more and more with the onslaught of AI versions of voice and imagery, we want the human thing. We want the imperfect thing.
Well, so you might be going through any one of those 5 top small voices. There's others, of course. I'm a fraud. I'm unlovable. There's probably number 6 and 7. And, for today...
I'm not okay. Yeah.
Kind of touches on safety. Yeah. And there's a lot of ones that seem like a new one, but they're actually enoughness. So, born in comparison. And less thanness. Yeah. So as you just notice, maybe just notice one small voice that has been grabbing you in your life, maybe inhibiting you from just doing it anyway, right? Being free for something that you want to voice forward, whether it's actually singing or speaking or creating something in the world and speaking up for it, inviting people, making that landing page, making that offer, and throwing yourself out there and not expecting an exact result, but kind of just trusting that this is something you want to do. What small voice has been in the way of your freedom right? To step forward and to voice who you are forward. So have a think about that, because that really is something here. You instead of trying to get rid of that so you're free, instead, how might you be free to have that part with you, right?
Yeah. What is it today? And these small voices can change.
Yeah.
And, you might be saying, well, what do I do if I realize I have a small voice, I think the first thing we like to say is it's not yet another problem to fix, to solve, to therapize. It's really an opportunity, a breadcrumb trail to your greatness. If you can take this small voice under your wing, to reparent it, to brother it, to sister it, to be the bigger voice, and get down on its level first and foremost. It's not to ignore it. It's not to go, I wish I didn't have it. It's to embrace it and understand it, to really get it.
Yeah.
Can you get this small voice? Because that's what a younger self wants, right? The younger part of us, they just want to be had.
Yeah. And included, even in their like alarm state, they just want to, I find these small voices aren't really statements and threats as much as they are like just loud chemical questions, like using your own biochemistry, just wanting, are you sure? That question that question wants to be answered with, I think we're okay this time, and we are enough this time, we are safe this time, and I got you, and we've got this, and I think over time, not straight away, not as fast as we'd like, these small voices do dissolve back into harmony, right? They don't stay as pesky as they are currently if we stop trying to avoid them, fight them, fix them, and keep them in the not okay corner. Instead, they start to dissolve when we're free to have them next to us, as we are free for our voice. And freedom available to self requires us to consider what are we ready to be available to, and only at your pace, but maybe you're a little bit more available to have this small voice under your wing with you this month.
Yeah, and I think voicing those small voices is more effective than anything. Ultimately calling them in and giving them a seat at your table.
How do you do that, do you think?
You might want to grab the guitar.
Okay. We weren't planning on this, but we're free for it. All right. Well, let's do a little. Let's see. Oh, that's a good small voice chord. I'm just going to sit forward. That works. All right, here we go.
So take one of these small voices, the one that showed up first, perhaps, and give it a name. Can you become aware of it and claim it? Once we give it a name, it's already separated from ourself in that we have the small voice, but we are not the small voice. We have a big voice that can identify this small voice, that can name it, and by naming it, we claim it. Can you first claim this small voice? Give it a name. It could be funny, could be even scary sounding, but is there a way you could make it cute and small and endearing, befriending? What name befriends this small voice?
That's nice. Well, why don't we start by just making a hum or a sound toward the small voice, right? Letting it know we've got you. You've got it. You've got them.
Yeah.
Or you could hum around, hum toward, offer some reconciliation, some peace, some understanding, some mindfulness.
Yeah, let your big voice hum towards this small voice. now we're going to give the mic over to the small voice, giving your voice over, voicing the small voice as it is. Maybe we'll use an O or a mo sound.
Yeah. What sound does this small voice want to make and has been waiting to make? Maybe it's not pretty. Maybe it's loud. Maybe it's a cry. Maybe it's a pleading. Maybe it's an ache or a wail.
Last one here. Coming back to a hum. Taking the microphone back, your big voice now.
Yeah, singing.
Either humming back to your small voice or just an aha moment where you get to understand where this small voice came from, how it became yours to have.
Singing back toward that small voice, saying, "Hey, I got you still. I hear you."
You're not rushing in to fix anything. You're just being there. Mirroring even.
Just a hum to close. Can you have both yourself and this small voice to be free for, to create new accessibility where there's not a part of you that you're moving away from, trying to clear up, but a part you're including to create ultimate access and freedom to all parts of yourself.
Yeah. Thanks for being with us.
Nice, yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I'm glad we did that.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
Yeah, I feel very relaxed.
Nice.
Well, we'll sing with you soon. This is Being Heard.